What about now? Can you hear my voice now? As I'm getting another guitar because I just broke a string. Okay, so you hear me now. I gotta change guitars, y'all. Those strings were pretty old, so that was bound to happen. That sucks though. That's my guitar that I like to play the most. Okay, sorry, my mic muted, but you know, StreamYard just sometimes don't work on here, so I always want to make sure. Yeah, this Rev Star is pretty cool. I did do the one mistake I made with this was asking them to put this Floyd Rose tremolo on here. It's a Floyd Rose FRX, so it's like a top-loading, top-mounted Floyd Rose. And I think I lost something that, like some sort of bearing or something that goes with it. I have trouble getting it to go back to 0, so I kind of just wish I would have never done that. But other than that, it's a sweet guitar. It's got the same pickups as my Pacifica, and I think the same frets too. They're like, well, I think they're stainless steel. I don't know. They got a bit of wear and tear on them that I wouldn't expect from stainless steel. But I did put a lot of miles on this guitar back in the day before all the lockdowns kind of shut down everything. So I'm filling in today. I think Nick Bell was supposed to go live today, but he's got some bigger fish to fry at Line 6 headquarters today. So I'm filling in for him, and I had a list of stuff for this semester. And I think the only thing I haven't done yet was talk about this Horizon drive, which I just, that's just one of my favorite features on the Helix. I don't even have it engaged right now. That first little intro I did is just the amp with nothing, but I wanted to play a little Jeff Beck. I thought it was fitting for today. So you do have to tune it when it's locked in place. You have to tune it down here like it's a Floyd Rose, because it is a Floyd Rose. Although I guess I don't know what I did. This has locking tuners. It's got everything, so you pretty much. It has a lot of potential, but it's also a lot to remember. And I don't know. Sometimes I just have trouble keeping this guitar in tune. But it sounds great and it plays really good, and it's a great little guitar, so I'm glad it was there since I broke a string on my number 1. Y'all got to witness a string break in real time. It's pretty cool. Hamdi, let's see, likes the tone. Is that your preset? Yes, it is, and I put this preset in the top of the chat here. Should be on Facebook and YouTube. So, yeah, you should be able to get it. I see somebody said turn on your mic, but was that probably a minute ago when my mic wasn't on? Talk about this Horizon drive a little bit. I set up this preset, and I'm gonna turn this reverb off too. I set this preset up yesterday, and I was actually kind of thinking about the Misha Mansour preset because Horizon drive and all that stuff. That's his kind of like his signature pedal, I guess. So I set up 2 channels basically. I have the Vitriol. The PV Vitriol, and this is the Crunch channel, and then this one down here, which I put on a foot switch, is the higher gain. So just the amp. That really doesn't need any extra distortion, really. But I think this other one, the Crunch, sounds so good. And then when you kick the Horizon drive on with this Crunch setting, basically sounds like the high gain setting. Here's the Horizon drive on just with the factory setting. Let me select this pedal so you can see it. Okay, so the settings on here right now are just kind of how they are out of the gate as soon as you select it. And I'll just go through these settings because I use this on a variety of amps, and I just think it's a really cool sounding pedal. Sometimes it almost has a fuzz sound with certain amps, or maybe if you stack it with other pedals. I put a Kinky Boost in this preset as well, but I don't have it on right now. And the only reason I did that is because I also put the Horizon gate at the beginning of the signal chain, but it's not on. And I didn't put it on a foot switch. All this Horizon gate is the noise gate from the Horizon drive. So I don't know. You could 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, but I thought it was cool to have them both in there because with this sort of stuff, sometimes you really want a heavy gate on what you're doing because there's so much distortion. But it really cuts it off nicely. So I'll start by turning this drive up. So with the Horizon drive or the Precision drive from Horizon Devices, either one, 6 is kind of like 10 on a traditional overdrive pedal. So this pedal is designed, like in real life, the pedal is designed to have a lot of headroom, more headroom than an average distortion pedal. So this IR is true to that. On 6, it just sounds mean. I can go up further. Pretty cool. And then if I kick on this gate, it really takes a lot of that off. It just darkens it up. But, you know, I can also, I've got the gate all the way up here, which, you know, you may not want to have both of those on if you've got this gate all the way up, but I can turn this gate down. Darkens it up, but I can also change that with this attack parameter here. So all the way down, it's going to give you a little more of a mellow attack. And then if you start bringing it all the way up, you hear more of that string noise. Not noise, but just the sound of the string. Pretty cool sound, super modern. And then obviously, if you combine that with this bright knob all the way up, you're going to get even more. So if I turn the gate up down here, which is going to start choking off more of my sound, I may want to just swap channels and go to the more high gain vitriol setting. So now I've got the vitriol, the vitriol that's set to the lead setting, which is just more high gain, and the Horizon drive. And if I want to, I can throw on this Kinky boost, which I'm just kind of using it. Let's see here. I'm using it as just a boost. And you know, let's compare how that sounds when it's off. Just a little more sustain, a little more bite. Now I also have the noise gate or the input gate turned on as well. I don't do any presets without turning that on. That's the first thing I do. So if you turn that off, you do get some more noise, as you can see. I don't know if you can hear that through your computer, but there's definitely some noise. But you know, I've got a high gain amp with 2 overdrive pedals going, so that's going to be noisy. But you turn the input gate on, it's not noisy at all. Let's see here. Thanks, William. He says it sounds killer. And then this question here, this is a good question. Do you know if the Pod Go is going to get a similar update to the Helix 3.5? I can't confirm or deny that, but there's probably something in the works. Because since they basically have the same processing, you know, the Pod Go is just basically a stripped down, more affordable version of a Helix, but essentially it's a Helix. So it's capable of doing most of the same things that the original Helix can do. So I don't know for sure, man, but there's probably something coming. So keep an eye out. If you have a Pod Go, I thought about doing this whole stream with a Pod Go today, but my Helix was already set up, so I just stuck with Helix. But maybe next time I'll do something with Pod Go. I love my Pod Go. Yes, neither a confirmation or a denial. But anyway, you do have these features on the Pod Go as well. So now I'll throw on some reverb, see how that sounds with this bad boy. And I've got this dynamic hall reverb. And again, I put this preset in the comments, so you can tweak it. I didn't do anything with the Horizon Drive's settings. I just left them how they are when you first pull it out of the menu. So, but there is a lot of reverb on the preset that's saved in there, but I was using the reverb without all the distortion. Put the reverb on. It's at 29% and the decay is at 7.5. So I think when you first pull the dynamic hall reverb up, the decay is closer to 9. The mix is like in the 30s, I think. But I do have this setting here for the room, like on the room size. I have it like as big as it'll go, just because I like reverb. And I do have some delay in here as well, but I'm getting to where I don't want to use delay and reverb at the same time. Actually, not that much delay. That's way too much. So that was at 40%. So I'm going to bring it down to 20, and the feedback I'm going to bring down to 20% as well. So maybe sometimes turn the reverb off and just use the delay, especially with all these distortion pedals that we have going. Just turn all that off. Just got the Horizon Drive, the Kinky Booster, and then the Horizon Gate, which again, like I said, is just the noise gate section of the Horizon Drive. And then you got the gate range here, which I didn't mess with. Here's the extended gate range. It just takes a little more off. You can tell when I go to that lower gain and maybe turn the Kinky Boost off. Chokes off your sound a little more. But I love having like all of these gates combined with like super high gain amps and distortion pedals, because it just allows you to get a much tighter metal sound than you can really do, than you should be able to do. You know, this. And I'll just go through the rest of the stuff I have on this preset. Like I said, I've got one Vitriol Crunch amp, and then I've got it on a foot switch with the Vitriol lead, so you can just hit one switch. It's basically like changing channels, so that's convenient. And then what I decided to do, so if you just pull up the amp and cab with the Vitriol on Helix, it normally has this 4x12 Cali cabinet with it. So I was thinking, well, that's cool, but I should combine it with this XXL 4x12 because I believe that's like a PV cabinet anyway. So wanted to kind of give it both of those just so it'd have, you know, something else that's more like a PV amp in there. And I just left them the way they come out with the mics. We got the 47 condenser on the Cali, and then we've got the 160 ribbon on the XXL, and they sound great. I didn't tweak these at all. Sometimes I start tweaking with these cabinets, and I mess with them so much that they end up not sounding that good anymore. So I just decided to leave these alone. And these are just, again, these are the single. If you choose to do a dual cabinet, it's going to give you the option to use 2 different mics. It simulates having 2 mics on one cabinet. So it's a pretty cool thing to have. But since I wanted to just mix it up with 2 separate cabs like this, I just did it this way. And then I tie them back off and throw the reverb and delay there at the end. And then you'll notice whenever I use more than 1 amp in a preset, I put 1 amp up here, and then I put the other one at the very first of the bottom chain, and that way it just frees up as much DSP as possible so that I can run all of my gain-based pedals ahead of the amp, and then down here I can put all the time-based stuff. Plus I was using 2 different speaker cabinets, so I was afraid this might be kind of a DSP intensive preset. So that's why I set that up that way, and it ended up sounding pretty cool. So, you know, go click the link at the top of the thread, and that will take you to this preset if you like a modern metal type thing. And it's pretty good, man. It's got a pretty tight sound. That's like everything is dimed. You know, I've got everything turned on. I guess it's not dimed, but everything's turned on. I've even got the kinky boost going. I didn't turn the drive up, but I do have it set to actually just a boost. So it just gives you a little bit of a boost, a bit of a mid boost. I don't ever turn the bright on, but with something like this, I guess you could use it because you've got so many noise gate options in there. So using this much distortion, that bright setting sometimes I guess is a good thing because you need it to bite through more. I can't ever do much shredding on when I'm doing these live streams. I don't play with this much distortion most of the time, so I used to a lot, but I'm so used to playing with like a cleaner sound these days that and the alternate picking thing, I kind of got away from doing that. And I've noticed that if I'm going to do a lot of alternate picking, I have to really warm up for it, which obviously I'm not really warmed up for it today. There we go. Now I'm warmed up for it. I'll be warmed up later. Like, as soon as I'm done with this, I'm gonna this afternoon I've got to go do a jazz gig, so I will not be playing any of these licks or using any of these sounds. I'll be using the straight up clean sound, which I got a pretty sweet jazz setting on my Helix too, but I think I already did a live stream about that one. So you know, it's hard to just keep coming up with presets that are different every week or every month, I guess in my case. But anyway, there's my little tour of the Horizon Drive, and what you're looking at down here now is after I've been, you know, playing around with the parameters and stuff like that. So if you pull up the preset that I put the link to, it's not going to be set the way this is right now, but all the stuff is there. You have all the potential, and I think it's a pretty good preset. Always remember to use the input gate when you're making a preset because it makes things quieter than they should even really be. Yeah, definitely takes some warming up, man. But I appreciate you hanging in with me there, William, and then everybody else. Appreciate you guys. Yeah, go check this preset out if you like the modern metal thing. This is... This definitely has the sound. Whew, I don't like playing solo stuff without reverb either, but there's a lot of reverb in this preset. So you guys go check it out. Thanks for hanging in with me today. I hope that was at least fun, because I know it wasn't super deep, but hopefully it was fun. And yeah, you guys go give me a follow on Instagram and check out my YouTube channel as well. Appreciate it. And I will catch y'all probably in 2 or 3 weeks. I'll be back, and next week you'll have a real product specialist like Nick Bell on the scene. So thank you guys. See you soon. Stick a fork in me. I'm done.